Welcome to the first VISD highlight of 2024. I'm Ashley Scott, Executive Director of Communications and Public Relations for Victoria ISD. February 5th, we begin celebrating School Counselor Appreciation Week. So in today's VISD highlight, we will take you on a journey to discover the incredible work done by our dedicated school counselors. Let's meet with Director of Counseling, Brandy Hinke, to learn more about the incredible work happening in our counseling department.
Thank you so much for being with us today on the VISD highlight as we celebrate Counselor Appreciation Month. Can you share with us, what do our counselors do on campuses?
Sure. So our counseling department is made of a team of really dedicated individuals that are devoted to helping students succeed socially, emotionally, and mentally.
On an elementary campus, what does it look like for a counselor?
So our elementary counselors within the district have different models. There are some that the counselors are in guidance lessons, and that may be during block classes in the library. Others are preparing the lessons that they deliver to teachers, and then the teachers are delivering those lessons to the students in class. Elementary counselors, it does look very different than secondary counselors because they're working on some of the same things. There is some overlap, but there's so much more at high school. For elementary, they really are building the foundation with character development. They're getting into college and career readiness, a lot of the things that do carry over to secondary. But I think maybe one of the most important things that elementary is doing is laying that foundation for the family engagement between the campuses and the parents working together that really carries through K-12. Mm-hmm. And then at the middle school levels, we are picking up on that character development. It's not happening in a guidance lesson format exactly like elementary is, just because elementary has designated time for that. So those things get worked in just in counselor presentations, visiting classrooms for different purposes, and things like that. There is lots of, planning for graduation requirements and post-secondary readiness. We're looking at preparing for college, exploring colleges, thinking about financial aid, and even some of our graduation requirements now. One of them is that students. So the counselors in high school actually start planning for graduation in ninth grade, teaching students about all of this. It doesn't magically come together when students are seniors. They are, from day one, they're tracked by asking them about a student. They know them so well. They can tell you exactly what courses students are taking.
Right.
And as the year progresses, they're monitoring and making sure that everyone is on track to graduate, mm-hmm. meaning that their fall semester was successful. If it wasn't, and there are some things that need to be made up, then they're tackling those things in January as soon as we come back to make sure that everything is every box is checked before May gets here.
What do you think sets our campus counselors and our counseling department apart from other districts?
I think our counselors are all very dedicated to serving students in a very personalized way. Every student is different, and we say every department in VISD, we all believe that there is no one size fits all. It's one size fits one. And I think working with students and having that mindset helps us to find what their interests are, what their goals are, what their barriers may be, so that we can help remove some of those barriers and just make sure that we are helping to move them on that path to whatever
the
their goals
counseling
are.
department has launched or is launching to help our students and our campuses.
Sure. So some of the ones that we're most excited about right now, the first one would be Bend the Trend. From the ground up, we built this, and we did this in partnership with Gulf Fitness Center. That started as a beta project. The progress that the students have made has just been phenomenal, and because of that, we're now expanding to 3 other campuses, and we've already begun that expansion work. So the second thing I would say is our new pilot program. We're calling it Gown Share. Mm-hmm. And this was
we
my
are
idea
asking,
to help
working
to
with
remove
community
barriers for
and
students to
family
graduation
services and other community
that
partners,
some of our
and then our
students
own
may
connections
face
department
in VISD. So we're accepting gently used graduation gowns for VSA, East and West High School, that our community is donating, and we will inspect those, they'll be cleaned, and then we can redistribute those to students in need.
And so if you're interested in gown share and seeing if you qualify for a donated cap and gown, you can visit VISD.net. We have a press release with all the information about gown share. We also have another big initiative that y'all are working on, School Links, related to course selection. Can you tell us more about that?
So the counselors are super excited about School Links. This is it's a college and career readiness platform, and it really is going to streamline the work that counselors do and not only help counselors, but it's going to help students and families too. This is something that our first implementation is really to start with our online course selection, which means no more paper forms coming home or possibly getting lost in a backpack. Things can be signed electronically by parents. Parents have full access to see everything, but one of the really cool things for parents and students is that this is an opportunity for students to kind of create a brag sheet, to start building a resume, all of those things that lead up to that post-secondary work that we've talked about, whether it's military, trade schools, college, and a 2-year or 4-year university. It's all part of School Links. And so they can begin exploring, they can do virtual tours, they can start creating those resumes, and even ask counselors for recommendation letters. And what helps the counselors do those letters is that the students are creating that resume and that brag sheet, so we have the information we need to write those letters that are really personalized to the students.
Lastly, something that I want to touch on is the College and Career Expo that y'all held early January when we got back from winter break. This is something new that VISD has not done before. Tell me how that went and what was the objective with that?
So I began working with the CTE department, and we had this idea that we needed to bring in recruiters and really push out some information to students about what their options were, so that we're not just pushing college. We want students to know that the CTE programs that they're in school learning about right now, that those things can lead into other options, other avenues after school. So we had 12 recruiters from colleges, trade schools, and military. We had teachers representing every program of study. Students were able to come in and as well as presentations from the Texas Colleges Commission, universities from all over. VC, just because they are our local partners, and they talked about college applications, they talked about FAFSA, and after the presentations, the families were able to go and visit with the recruiters and really get that information that they are looking for. So it was an amazing turnout. We had over 125 guests attend, and just the turnout with the recruiters and military and everyone, it was amazing. And so I feel very certain that it's going to be an annual event just because we had such a phenomenal success.
So keep an eye out January of next year for the next College and Career Expo.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Brandy, so much for coming and sharing more about what our counselors are doing. And this week we celebrate Counselor Appreciation Week, and we are so happy to do so.
Thank you so much, Ashley.
Our counselors play a vital role in shaping the future of our students. They provide academic guidance, emotional support, and career counseling.